tell us your name and where you're from.
Well, my name's Abby Matovich, and I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Awesome. So we're gonna just dive right in. What kind of artist are you?
I am a dancer. Am I supposed to answer more than that?
Is that all? Just
Yeah.
the dancer?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Um, when and why did you start dancing, being an artist?
Dancing. Well, I started dancing whenever I was in middle school. At my school, I had a dance team, so I decided to try out because some of my other friends were. And then after that, I kind of just I don't know, I kind of just fell in love with dance and the art of it and the competition of it and the skill of it and just like all the different components, also the social side of it, I guess. And from there, I just continued to be challenged and grow with different coaches and different opportunities. So yeah.
Awesome. So, do you think people are born artists, or you think that it's like a developed thing?
Hmm. I think that we are all born with like the ability to create, and I think we're all born with like the ability to be an artist. I don't know if I would say you're an artist right off the bat because you probably have to like start acting out in it and stepping out into it. But I'd say that we all have an ability to create and some sort of drive to create.
hmm So tell me, for you, what does it mean to be an artist?
I would say that being a dancer, being an artist means that I have the ability to create things, and I can create dances, and I can create movement, and I can have opportunity, and I can go to classes, and I can interact with different people, and I can just create something out of nothing, and I can create something to be performed, and I can create something that can express different emotions. And to me, being an artist is more than just a hobby. It's more of a lifestyle and something that I do not just for fun or not just to get paid through a job, but I do it as expression and as something that I like to do and something to help me just with emotions and help me deal with life and help me to just help me through different seasons.
hmm hmm So what is it that makes being an artist significant to you? Like, why is it so important to you to
Yeah.
be an artist, and why are you still an artist today?
Yeah. Okay, well, I actually tried to quit being an artist once. Um, and then I realized that you can't just do that. And I think that was because before, whenever I was a dancer, whenever I first started dancing, I kind of viewed dance as like just a hobby or something you just did and you just performed and you did exactly what you were told to do, and then that was that, and then you competed, then you learned a new dance the next year. And then I did take time off, and then I came back to dance, and when I came back to dance, it was a big shift in the mindset, and I realized that dance can be so much more than you're not just performing and you're not just doing what the judges want you to do, and it's not just a performance, but it's actually an expression and it's an art, and you can create and you can do things, and you can express emotions and feelings and situations, and you can do a lot more. It's a lot more about feeling, and it's a lot more about release, and it's a lot more about creativity, and you can make so many different styles of dance that maybe wouldn't even be good for competition, which is what I thought dance was at first, was just competition. But it's so much more. Like, there's such a large scale of things you can do.
Yeah.
So it's significant to me, and that is because I can express and I can show things that I've gone through and worked through, and things that I've had trials with and I've struggled through. I can learn lessons from that, and then I can actually express that through dance, and I can actually create dances that show that meaning and show that heart, and then help other people see it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So from the beginning of being an artist to now, what has changed? Have you learned anything? Has it changed your perspective on life? Has it changed your perspective on the arts or on people, or maybe even on yourself?
Yeah. That's good. I think a big change happened for me whenever I started teaching dance, because I had to really sit back and like think through how I wanted to teach and like what type of teacher I wanted to be, and if I wanted to teach dance in a way that was strict on this is technically right, like this is the technical side of things, and I'm going to be very strict so that you get very good very fast and that you look very uniformed, or I could be the type of teacher who shows the expression and the heart and why we're doing dance. And through that, I was able to realize that I can reach my students by helping them see the beauty behind art. And so that was the shift, because whenever I had to actually teach other people, I had to question, why do I do the things I do? When I view dance, am I trying to just be the best again, and am I just trying to compete, or do I want to help them see the actual art and heart behind what dance could be? So that's changed me because I've been able to see how many different ministries and how many outreaches can, and how much healing can come through dance. So like I've had the opportunity to help teach a lot of different classes for like inner city, and then also for children with special needs and adults who have special needs. And being able to see how dance can actually aid and like help and just redeem and change the mood and like help people express so much more than just what the technical side of it was. So when you do view it as the art, it heals, and I think that's just amazing. But that's a big thing that's changed in my viewpoint and understanding of arts.
So you're saying, so like when you moved from being a student of dance to being a teacher of dance, you kind of had a reflection on yourself and been like, okay, why am I doing this? What's my reasoning for this changing over? Can you like just talk about it a little more? Like, was there anything else inside in that process that came out through that movement, that came out through you switching from being a student to teacher? Was there anything else that you realized? Anything else that art showed you?
Yeah, I think it showed me how it's really easy to get caught up in wanting to be the best. And in a world, I don't know, like in the world of dance, it's very much just you want to be the best. You want to have the solos. You want to do the best turns. You want to be the most flexible. You want to be the most talented. You want to make the most people cry in the audience. Like you have so many, like it's just all competition. And whenever you're the one who has to teach it, you realize a lot of the things in your heart that you pretended like you didn't actually like, oh, I don't actually want to be the best, until you're teaching someone else and realize that their understanding is what you're going to teach them. So if I had to really check my heart of what understanding I want them to have. Do I want them to turn against each other? Do I want them to have to compete in that way? Or do I want to open them to a whole other side of what dance can be? So it's kind of like one of those things whenever, you know, like people say when you're studying for like a test, like you don't actually know any of the information until you're able to teach someone else. And it's like, wow, you really do have to check like your heart behind what you believe in and what you think this is whenever it's time to teach someone else.
Yeah. Cool. So when you're not creating, when you're not dancing, when you're not physically, you know, doing the art, how does being an artist apply to you?
That's good. It's crazy how it actually does affect things because I don't know, it changes like your mindset and how you look at things. Like whenever you have a heart to create, okay, for just an example, even if I'm not currently dancing, whenever I'm going through different circumstances, or I like watch a movie, or I hear like a story, or like I hear something powerful, or something that resonates in my mind, like wow, that's like very inspiring, or that's really like moving, that's heartfelt, I immediately start to think about how I could incorporate that into a dance to express and help show other people do the same thing. Like I was sitting over there waiting for my turn, and I was in my head picturing like a dance that I could create, and like how I could incorporate different things into it to tell a story based off something I heard from a friend earlier. And I think I don't know, my heart always is whenever I learn like lessons now, I always want to show other people through dance.
What does you being an artist do for others around you?
Yeah. I think that dance allows me to come into terms with what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling inside and what I'm going through, and I'm able to express it sometimes without even having words and knowing what I'm trying to express. And that's kind of some of the beauty of it, is that it's a release even when I don't have words often, and then sometimes I do have words and then I'm able to incorporate that also into the dance. So because of that, it helps me because I'm able to express myself and understand what's going on, and it helps to affirm me, and it helps me to move on and deal with things and feelings. But at the same time, I can use what I'm going through and what I'm learning and express that for other people to see as well. And I can also invite them into it. As I've become more of a teacher, I've learned how I can create an environment where I can also encourage people to dance. So like I don't just have to always perform or make a performance for them to watch, because you do reach people that way, and that's a huge way, having like the audience actually just watch and receive what's going on, but also being able to make an environment where I can encourage people who don't know how to dance or don't want to dance, dance and get the benefits from it, or feel the release from it, and feel the freedom that comes whenever we dance. So I think that's something that other people can benefit from, and that I would hope other people are benefiting from what I'm doing or what I hope to do, is just help people find that release in that form of it through art.
Awesome. So do you think that like through the lens of arts, there's things that only the arts allows you to see? Like you wouldn't have been able to, you wouldn't have come to this place in your life hadn't you gone through the arts, and hadn't the arts been there, and hadn't you been able to see something, see a situation, see a challenge through the lens of arts, through dance or through music or whatever it might be.
So I'm sure there are specific things I've gone through that I can't think of right now. But on a general note, I know that, like I was kind of saying earlier, sometimes through like just having a moment for me specifically, because I am an artist and I dance, I've had moments wherever I'm just stressed out and overwhelmed, and then I just need to dance. So I just sit down, or I don't sit down because I'm dancing, so I stand up. But I just play music and then I start just dancing and just going at it and just like really trying to feel it. And I've done that just through stress and like different things, and been able to release and be able to work through and gain like a sound mind afterwards. It's just like one of those things that whenever my mind's going crazy and like if I'm stressed out and have a bunch of different thoughts, after I like just dance and like release, I can have like a sound mind again. But then also aside from that, like in it spiritually, like with the Lord, I'd say that dancing has been a way that I feel like I connect with the Lord, and I can understand His heart, and and see like the beauty behind Him. And I think that because I am a Christian and I believe that we were created and that we were created to create, I just feel like whenever I dance and I get taken to a place where I can relate to the Lord on a different level, and I can see His beauty on a different level, and I can see His creativity and His heart on a different level. And I think that's definitely something that I never would have gotten had I not been a dancer or an artist in that way.
Yeah. So what's it like to create? Like when you're dancing, when you're choreographing a dance, when you're moving and doing the, throwing your arms all around. But when you're dancing, what's it like? What's going through your head? What's the rush? What's the feel? What's the adrenaline that you're feeling there?
Well, if I'm trying to portray like a certain thing, then my mind's focused on like that topic. Like if it's like heartbreak, or if it's loneliness, or like sadness or excitement, then like my mind is set on that, and then I just think about how, I don't know, what I think that would look like, and then I just try to act it out or do it.
Awesome. So when you've completed a work, when you've completed a dance, when you've finished your finito, you're done, what's it like? Like what's that feeling like? What's going through your head then?
I think one of the coolest moments, and I've experienced this recently because I recently started teaching dance more on a regular basis, and I think one of the coolest moments is after the dance is complete and it's together and it goes like with the music and it's the way you want it, and the dancers are like together and they just are dancing it kind of the way you envisioned it, or that you like saw in your head, that you were trying to create it. By being an audience member or the person who created the dance and being able to watch it, that's just one of the coolest moments when they perform it that way, because it's just like, it's like, because like what I was saying, it does affirm the song, and it does like just reinforce what the message, and then you just, I don't know how to describe it, because you're seeing and you're hearing and you're thinking all at the same time, and it just makes like the message that much stronger, and it makes you feel for some reason that much more. And it's, as the creator watching it, it's really I don't know, it's really exciting, and it's really fun for me to be able to see like, wow, like I helped put that together and they did a great job, and they really are feeling it, and like all of the dreams or things that you saw in your head are actually like coming to life, and it's awesome.
So do you think being an artist easy? Like, is it easy to sustain? Is it difficult? What's your take on that? Like you said before, you tried to stop being an artist. Like what, I guess, brought you to that? Like, is it easy to continue to be an artist?
Yeah, I think whenever you have a heart to create, and whenever you really actually are passionate about it, I wouldn't say that it's hard to continue to do, because it's what you love. I suppose there are components of it that can be challenging, like finding an environment to do it. For dancing, you can get to a certain age whenever you're not necessarily supposed to be the dancer anymore, because you're like not in a group. So it can be difficult if you want to try finding a place to teach and so forth. But I think whenever you really want to do something and you really love something, it's really easy to find an area to do it. And even if that looks different than ways you've done it before, like that's part of the creativity. You have to be creative in how you're going to express it or be the artist. And
so what has the arts taught you about yourself? What have you learned through the arts?
I think it has taught me that I love the freedom that comes with dance, and I love yeah, I think freedom's the best word for it. Whenever you're just dancing and you're just allowed to go for it and do what you want, you can just express yourself. And I think it's taught me how to express myself, and it's taught me that I am, I don't know, that I'm a person who, let me think. Freedom's a good one. Question was, what has it taught you about yourself? Yeah? Yeah, I think that there's a lot of like childlike freedom that comes with dance, and it takes you, I've learned how to bypass my stress, or not bypass my stress, but release my stress in a different way, and in a way that helps me, like I said earlier, re-centralize my thoughts and have a clear mind, and express that in a fun way and in a freeing way and a joyful way.
Yeah.
And that's what dance and creating and art has been for me.
Yeah. So what about the arts? Why are the arts so powerful? What gives the arts the ability to do that? What's your thoughts, your opinions on that?
Yeah. I'd say because there's so much heart behind it. I don't know if that's a good way to say it, but because whenever you create dance, or you are dancing, or you're singing, or you're creating art, it is an expression of your heart. So whenever you're trying to connect with other people, it's like a very raw way to kind of connect with them, and I think it's a unique way to, and I think the arts are something that a lot of other things can't do, because it does connect all those different things of you, and it's like a physical expression of what you're thinking. So I think, I don't know, so you don't get distracted by differences, you don't get distracted by like language, and you don't get distracted by how you look and like things like that, and I think it just bypasses that and says, here's my heart, here's your heart, let's be friends.
Let's be hearts.
Let's be hearts.
No, that's awesome. Well, that's it. Thank you for coming out today. It's been